I truly, truly, truly enjoy Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is an amazing show with incredible animation, and I know you already know because of what I'm saying where I'm going with this, but season 3 has had a massive issue. And before I say it, I just want to say this. Season 2 reset the expectation for what animation could be in anything with that end of the Tengen versus Gitaru fight, with the fire, the sound design, the way they use CGI was absolutely transcendent at the time, in my opinion. Season 3, man, has been good. Story-wise, fights-wise have been really good, but you guys know what I'm about to say. The use of CGI has evidently increased a lot in this season. I'm watching the newest episode that just dropped last Sunday, and I'm thinking to myself, like just why is that there? Why does that completely break the immersion of Muchiro's fight? And you get this incredible scene with Muchiro, and throughout the whole thing, between the last episode and the episode that just dropped, where you're really connecting to Muchiro, and you think he's a lot more deep of a character, and the season as a whole has lacked characters with depth for a good amount of episodes, because of course they're waiting to drop all the lore of Muchiro. So you get all this lore, you feel super connected to Muchiro, you're like, wow, he was once a really happy-go-lucky kid, just like Tanjiro, and then he has this absolute dickhead brother, but his brother and him have to end up fighting this demon, and you feel really connected to him, and then you come back to a scene of these little gremlin, like minion, like gnome, like horrible CGI creatures, and you're just like, why? Like, why is that there? And then the Wood Dragon CGI does not look bad. It does not look terrible at all. I understand why that's there. And it also reminds me of Mugen Train. I forget what the name of the lower 5 demon is, or the lower demon. But when the demon in Mugen Train transforms into the train, you get those purple little worm-like things running around. You're just like, what is going on? Like, what made that decision? What made you go from Tengen versus Gitaru to these little CGI creatures? Now, it's not the end of the world too, but another thing that you just have to note is the fact that One Piece just dropped with Zoro vs. King, which has some of the best animation ever. Literally ever. Across the Spider-Verse just came out. That has some of the best animation ever. And yes, it is a positive that Demon Slayer is getting compared to the most popular anime of all time, and then a movie, but that's just the expectation it set for itself last season. And then season 3, the animation, I'm sure it will have incredible moments, and I really like the smoke effects, I really like the sharpness of the fights, and the sound design is always incredible, but the increased use of CGI, particularly on the enemies, has been a little bit jarring. Honestly, jarring is the only word I'd use to describe it, but I really think they'll bounce back, and I'll speak a little bit on some of the other things from the episode that just dropped. There's a lot of things in this season just falling a little flat right now, but I do think, though, that these fights are going to hit really hard. I have read the manga, so obviously I kind of know what's going to happen. No one will argue that this has been more exciting than Season 2 thus far, but I do think that some of the moments are really going to hit hard, and I think a lot of the people that read the manga knew that this arc was going to fall a little bit shorter than Season 2, but honestly, they've been doing a good job, and the development of Muchiro, and I think the development of Genya later, will really help propel this season. You'll appreciate the characters in Demon Slayer more that get slammed for simplicity all the time, which I don't understand why, because the simplicity of the story is what makes the simple characters shine, which gives them moments that you really appreciate. Just because the CGI is a little jarring at times, don't worry about it. I think it'll get better, and I think when those fights happen at the end, with these characters that have been developed way more than I think a lot of the characters in the past, if you think about it, we were introduced to Rengoku for like 45 minutes before the end of Season 2, so getting this development with Muchiro now will really help you feel connected to him later and throughout the rest of the story as well. And Tanjiro being on the backseat and Nezuko being in the backseat is honestly a little refreshing, but definitely missing some Zenitsu and Inosuke right now. They were in the end credit scene, which was really cool. So that's all I have for you today. We're just getting started. We're going to stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.